It is Q&A time with me and the Rocket. We were planning on our drive down to Cornwall doing a quick Q&A because we got you to ask some questions over on Instagram and on YouTube, but the Rocket informed me it'd be way too dangerous for me to be doing a Q&A and not focusing on the road. She already shouts at me, stop, brake. So we are in a lay-by somewhere in Cornwall. The car opposite is strangely flashing us. I'm not sure why. But the Rocket didn't find that joke funny. There's no one opposite us, but we are in a lay-by in Cornwall. We've got some questions for me and the Rocket. Obviously, I said ask some questions for me and the Rocket. This is Giorgio Coppola cycling, but we seem to have more questions for the bloody Rocket. What's that about? Absolutely, it's taking the... Can't say that. Beep, beep, beep. It's taking the mick. This is meant to be about me. But we'll get the Rocket's boring ones out the way first. How did we meet, Rocket? First date?
We met at school.
School.
God knows what the first date was. Probably the cinema.
But yeah, we met at school. I was like, all right, Sarah, you want to be my lady? And this is where we are. The rest is history. How many cakes do you eat a week, Rocket? 10,000.
No, one or two.
One or two.
Yes, maybe like one at the weekend if we do a bike ride, and then maybe I have like one in the week at work if there's like a bake-off or a free lunch club, you know, that kind of thing. Her
work, they're either on lunch club or they're on bloody bake-off week. How did the Rocket get her nickname? I literally think just in a ride when I first started the YouTube channel, she bombed it up a hill, but pre-e-bike, and I just said, look at her, the red Rocket or something.
Yeah, or sure. It's like maybe the second or third time I'd been out on the bike, like during lockdown, so I'd never cycled. Well, okay, obviously had cycled.
You just nailed it up a hill,
yeah,
didn't
I just
you?
went really fast.
And we're like,
but I don't think we can't find the video clip.
No, we've actually lost the footage of it, but that's how it happened, and it just stuck. Like, I call her the Rocket all the time now. Yeah. She writes like Valentine's Day cards from the Rocket. When will the Rocket race? When I get to how many subscribers and you'll race?
1 million.
1 million? Come on, be realistic. This is Giorgio Coppola cycling.
500,000 then.
500,000? God. When is the Rocket going to spoil it all? AKA the cycling career of myself and make us have kids. Make us. Force us. When are you, Rocket? Tell me.
No idea.
No idea. Honestly, I think we don't know because I am still, in my head, a 19-year-old, but I'm 29, which is slightly concerning. When are you going to change the name to Rocket Racing? Have a day off. No, this is GC, the GC channel.
I'll just leave then, yeah, if you don't want me here.
Alright, oh, salty. Oh, salty. New kitchen reveal, that's coming, isn't it?
We can do that if people want, we can.
It seems like people want to see the kitchen. What's the Rocket's FTP? Upper climb. She don't even know it. Upper climb with turbo on is 10,000, but without turbo and an e-bike it's about 10. But Kishan wants to know that, and he's an elite mountain biker. So what we're gonna do? Kishan versus the Rocket.
Do you not think so?
Yeah.
George? No.
Smoke him, Rocket.
I'm not a puppet. I'm not just here for amusement and videos.
You are, Kishan. You're going down. Right, did the Rocket play any sports when she was younger?
Well, no.
Does she look like a thoroughbred athlete? Oh, yeah, you did swim?
I think that was just like standard swimming
lessons. Yeah, like swimming lessons. Yeah. Oh, Rocket Phelps, sort of.
No.
Back right, it's on to me now. The important stuff. The Rocket's going to take over. Ask the questions. When did I become such a legend?
No, when did you start cycling?
Tricky one, because I did cycle when I was younger from up until the age of 14, and then I stopped because I wanted to be a professional golfer. That didn't work out too well, did it? The Rocket thought she was marrying into Tiger Woods. Instead, she's got this chopper on a bike.
Instead, you abandoned me and went to uni in Plymouth and Portugal.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Portugal playing golf, left the Rocket at home. So God knows how we're still together. But I then stopped from like 14 to, I want to say 25. I'm going to insert the picture of when I first done a race again. So I've been back riding about 4 years now. But when I was doing it when I was younger, it was just like a bit of fun. I wasn't really doing any training or anything. Next, what have we got?
What's your job?
What's my job? Yes, I'm a full-time professional amateur cyclist. No, I'm an engineer, CNC miller. Basically, you get a bit of aluminium, bit of stainless steel, bit of brass. We turn it into something. It's like magic. Del Boy is my boss. And we also work for 4 Flights, hence the team, the van. We make all the lights.
Lovely.
Lovely.
So what to say there. Rank mountain bike, CX and road.
Go on then. What are you saying? Put them in order. Rocket hates road. Road riders, you're dead to
road.
Dirt in a pile.
That's not even a phrase, but just so boring, so dull. Highly dangerous as well, because you're on roads and there's normally light drivers and people don't like cyclists anyway. And often a lack of catering, I'll be honest.
Oh, lack of catering. So I'd say the Rockets order is what? Do you reckon CX is top for you?
Yeah, I think CX
Everyone's
is quite
friendly.
Entertaining. Yeah, very friendly bunch at the Wessex League. Good catering.
Good catering, that's all she cares about. You're gonna be surprised by this one. I'm the same with a Rocket. Road is bottom for me. If I never do a road race again, it wouldn't bother me.
It might change next year.
Yeah,
I mean, you absolutely loved road this year. Like, this is what you do. You chop and change everything. All
right, it's not throw me under the bus. Second is surprisingly CX, and top is mountain bike. I'm falling in love with mountain bike again. I'm not gonna lie. So mountain bike is number 1 at the moment.
Race warm-up video.
Yeah, we'll do one. I'll get the Rocket to film it, 'cause obviously I'll be warming up.
It was a reel the other week, though. That
was
a little bit of an insight.
A little bit of an insight on Instagram, the Rocket.
Pop that in here.
Yeah, the Rocket actually does do my Instagram reels. I'm not going to lie. She films it and makes them. Shameful.
Makes the audio and adds the captions.
Yep, I'm just a pretty face. But the YouTube stuff is me. Come on now. Next.
Who's the better brother?
Oh, and I'm going to put this out there. Ben, you asked this question. Ben asked this question. And if we're going in terms of better looks, better banter, better all-round man, it's me. If we're going off cycling, it's probably Ben. But I don't reckon he's got much longer before I'm hot on his heels. You've seen some of the last videos. I'm catching him. And if he doesn't start training, he's going to go down, isn't he, Rocket? Next.
Have we ever been to Guernsey or Jersey?
Negative, we haven't, but Guernsey does interest me.
Does it?
Because how the island is so small, I follow a couple of the Guernsey riders on Strava and stuff, and it blows my mind that they can ride the whole island in one ride, like an hour and a half. I always show you, don't I? Yeah. I'm like, look, he's ridden the island in an hour and a half. And secondly, what do you all do for work? Mind blown. So, question for you. Oh, crikey. So, question for you, Guernsey people. But we might venture there one day. We might. You never know where the Rocket's going to take us next.
Can you just back up?
Back up.
Next A race and goal for the year.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I wasn't going to actually tell people this because it's like bit top secret, isn't it? But my A race and my only A race this year is National Champs Mountain Bike XC. It's in July at Tong, and my goal for it is to become national champion. Okay. Or at least podium there is the goal. Now, fear not, Joe Blackmore. I'm not actually in your race because this old boy is moving up into the 30 to 40 Masters category. So I have no idea who else is old like me now. So I don't know who I'm going to be racing against. But I've basically, at the beginning of the year, I said to my coach, I'm putting all my eggs in this basket. I want to try and be as fit and as fast as possible. If I podium, great. If I win, great. If I don't, I'm going to come back next year and try again, and I? Sorry, Rocket. The excitement. Next.
Top tips to stay positive through tough times in training and racing.
This is a tricky one, isn't it? I was speaking to you about this because one of the main things is actually this YouTube channel. It kills me having to make a video. Like, when I went over to Belgium, I performed awfully. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, and I really wanted to go out there, prove myself and do well. So like, knowing that I'm gonna put something out just keeps me pushing in training and racing. And also at the races, having like my dad there who's got all the bikes sorted, stood in pits all day, it just makes me want to push for him because he's gone to all that effort. Like, I don't think he'd care if I'd done rubbish. I mean, he'd probably disown us, wouldn't he?
Probably make a couple of comments.
But yeah, and then like when I do have a bad race, to get over it, I'm just like straight back into training, aren't I? Just like
maybe a little bit of comfort food.
Yeah,
first.
I've got to admit, I'll probably do binge eat after when I get home. I'm just like, right, I'm never cycling again. Where's the chocolate?
Favourite national CX course?
Favourite national CX course? This has got to be for me, South Shields. I thought I was absolutely flying around there and I still got 80%ed, which was heartbreaking. But I loved the course. It was like overlooking the coast, had a sand pit, had a sand run up, off cambers, hurdles.
2 coffee vans.
2 coffee vans.
Yeah.
That was definitely my favourite. And I think it's on there again this year. So I think we're going to have to make the trip to South Shields again. I did enjoy that one. Hopefully I can do a full race this time. Next.
Plans to race abroad.
Yeah, there's 2 for this. There's plans to cycle abroad, which we are going to France later in the year. Is that cycling? It's not really a cycling.
It's a family holiday.
Family holiday.
Bring the bikes.
We're taking the bikes. But I do want to, but obviously also the Rocket has 100 jobs around the house she wants to do, so it's really money dependent, isn't it? And she goes first. Race abroad, 100%. I just can't find like mountain bike. Oh, I'm gonna have to stop this bit.
Let the tractor go past.
Bloody tractors down in Cornwall.
A few moments later.
Yeah, I basically can't find a mountain bike race that would be suitable for me over there. I can see all like the UCI ones, but obviously I'm not going to go and race Nino Schurter and Tom Pidcock. I tried that in Belgium, it didn't go well. I want to find one that's my level and I can go to. So if there's any people that race abroad that watch this, hit me up, like message me on Instagram. If there's one local, don't send me one. Like, I'm probably not going to be able to afford to go to America. No. But like Belgium, Holland, France.
Okay.
We can do that, can we? Yep, that's a no. Question, who wears the trousers? Me.
Would you do a race with NorCal cycling?
NorCal, when I showed the Rocket this question, she was like, who's NorCal? NorCal, that was it, NorCal. Yes, 100%. Jeff, if NorCal Cycling wants to pick this chopper up, I'll come out of crit retirement to make a video with him, but I'm pretty sure he's a bit above me. What we got next?
Organising an MTB get-together ride for your supporters.
Ooh, yeah, I potentially would do this, but I had the same fear of putting these questions out, didn't I? Like, someone asked me a question and I was like, I won't get any, and then we had like 30 and I was like, oh, I feel like a hero. And I think I've got the same fear about doing a mountain bike like group ride. I'd love to put one on, but I'm also scared no one would turn up and then I'd look like a chopper. So
nothing to do with your poor admin organisation
skills. Also my admin and organisational skills are bleak, but potentially might put one on because one of the Mossa riders, Ryan, knows some like mega routes, mega trails, and I could get him to like lead a ride because he sort of the ones around our area, he knows them all. Whereas I definitely don't, so I'd have to get you on board basically. I have to ask him first.
One thing you want to improve and how will you go about doing it?
The one thing I want to improve is I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better husband. I want to love my lady. I want to be better at DIY. I definitely do not want to do that. That's a joke, that's a joke. The one thing cycling is going to be technical single track skills, hands down. I think if I can improve that, I will be taking down Tom Pidcock. Oh, no I won't, but I'm going to do that. I've been adding in loads of mountain bike rides recently. Every time I can fit my training in to do a mountain bike ride, I'm doing it. And when the season does end, I think it's going to be a bit of a focus of mine to take a bit more time away from like training, structured efforts and stuff to just go and practice shredding, and hopefully I'm going to steal Dad's e-bike and use that so that I don't have to cycle up the hills basically, and I can get more practice in quicker, or use the Rocket's e-bike. Next up, Rocket.
Have you been tempted to race XC on a flat bar CX bike?
Absolutely not, because I'd get the bones rattled out of me, and this piddly little arm would not be able to take being on a cyclocross bike. Even if it had flat bars, I'd get absolutely rattled to death. Even though some of the courses aren't technical and flat, they're rooty, and because it's so dry sometimes they're bumpy, and I love the full suspension bike now I'm on it, so I can't see myself doing that. Next up.
You've had massive progression over the past few years. What have been the top factors to make that happen?
Well, one is just a very supportive wife who just huffed before reading that question. Am I keeping you from your bedtime? I even bought her a rosé at dinner to perk her up.
Buttons that are in the fridge.
Her chocolate buttons are waiting for her. I've forgotten the question. Oh, the progression. The big progression is mainly for two things. When I first got into it, I got a coach. It was after a while, I think we came into lockdown, didn't we? And I thought, right, I'm going to get a coach because I've got no events. I need someone to structure for me. And the second thing is the amount of cycling I do, the volume of training, zone 2 training. I ride my bike
every day,
a ridiculous amount. And that is also my downfall. Like today, me and the Rocket have done a 3-hour bike ride. I was meant to be doing a 1-hour recovery ride. But when this beautiful face says she wants to ride for 3 hours, she doesn't get that often. So I couldn't say no. That's my problem. Sometimes I should be resting, yet I'm still going out on my bike. I need to get better at that, making sure I'm resting. But it's definitely the amount of volume I'm doing. Having a coach has helped massively. What about yourself? How have you progressed so rapidly? Is it that battery?
Yes.
Yes.
It's been a big factor.
It's been a big factor. Going to the e-bike life. Learn. Next up.
What's the Coppola backstory?
The Coppola backstory. Well, you may have heard of Francis Ford Coppola, the director of The Godfather. That is not related to me, unfortunately, but we do get asked that, don't we? And once before I said, I think I was in the bank, I was like, yes, my uncle. She was like, no. But the background, they asked it in terms of XC racing, cycling relating. Basically, when my dad was younger, he was built like a house, to put it nicely. He will tell you he used to have a Chinese and a pizza on the same night. Mind-blowing. That's where I get my genetics from. So Dad was quite fat, to put it bluntly. He got into cycling just to lose some weight, get fit, and he actually got quite good. And yeah, he ended up like racing national races and just went full steam in it. And he was pretty good back in the heyday, but obviously doesn't get that much time to train now because, and he's getting a little bit older, but because he's taking me and Ben to races and stuff like that. But then it progressed from there. Obviously Dad done it, so I got into it. Ben got into it. We then dragged Sarah Coppola into it. Now she's a Coppola. Sorry.
Coppola. Final question.
Can you be a bit more enthusiastic? My people want enthusiasm from my lady.
I just can't give that, sorry. Long-term goals beyond this season for cycling and the YouTube channel.
Long-term goals. I want to get to elite mountain bike purely so that I can be one of those choppers that puts it in my Instagram handle. Is that a good enough reason? Elite mountain biker. I really would love in cyclocross to earn a UCI point. Now, I'm going to be realistic. I don't think that's possible because I have to get like top 10 at a national level race. And the standard is just ridiculoly high. You've got like Toby Barnes, Thomas Main, Jensen Young, Joe Blackmore when he rocks up for a whack round, Cameron Mason, and guys like that turning up. And then if I went to Belgium to try it, it's even further out of the question. But that'd be a nice goal. Maybe I can sneak a top 10 if everyone gets a puncher or something like that. And what?
Around and just...
Yeah, I guess send the rocket round, throwing sticks at people and stuff. But that'd be a huge achievement, and I'd like to do the same in mountain bike XC as well. Road, I've got absolutely no goals for that, unless NorCal Cycling want me on and I'll come out of retirement. For the YouTube channel, I want to keep growing it, and I've also been saying to the Rocket, I want to try and bring other people on the channel. I've spoke to Joe Blackmore about making videos. The problem is, it's really hard to organise it. One, because he's like racing a lot. I've got like really good ideas. Well, I think they're good anyway. I tell the Rocket and she's just like, yeah, alright, yeah, it's another video. But there's two problems. One, I'd have to sacrifice my own training because, or I'd have to plan it in with my coach for some of the ideas I've got. And two, it's aligning it with the other person. Like, Joe's agreed that eventually he'll do this video with me, but he's racing World Cups and stuff like that. So trying to get it both to align is just ridiculously hard. But I think I want to bring other riders on just because I want to make it more educational as well for people, to try and inspire people to get into racing, riding their bike. And the one thing as well, the younger kids, I gave up on it. One, because it was hard, and two, I thought golf would be the easier option. I sort of hope someone sees it and thinks, no, I won't quit, I can do it, because that's my biggest regret now. I'm absolutely busting my backside to try and get fast, but I'm probably, I've missed the window, haven't I, really? But I really wish as well I'd started the channel sooner, because when I first started cross, I couldn't get in the top 20 at Wessex League. I got lapped every race. I used to go to summer cross and get lapped, so people see where you are now. But I really wish they'd seen me when I first started, and I was useless, wasn't I? But we're getting better, and that's it. Brings the whole getting better just brings so much more pressure. This is a seriously long video, I apologise, but I massively appreciate the questions. The Rocket,
I do really appreciate the questions.
the Rocket couldn't give a beep. She was like, I really don't want to do this video.
Wait, should we just set the scene, okay? We got up this morning, we've driven an hour, we've then done a 4-5 hour bike ride. I have sunburn. We've then had a quick turn around to shower in the hotel. We've then gone to Padstow, Rickstein's restaurant, which was lovely, fish and chips. Do you recommend that?
Yeah.
However, obviously when you have fish and chips, you're very full up. All you want to do is just put your pyjamas on and relax. And here we are in a random lay-by, still 30 minutes from our hotel.
We're in a lay-by. Who's this person flashing at us, Rocket? In the lay-by.
Set the scene, the reality.
The reality is, yeah, I wanted to do this down by the beach where we were, but it was blowing an absolute gale, wasn't it? So that's why we're in the back of the van doing it. But I really appreciate the questions. If anyone's got any more, pop them down below. We'll try and like maybe answer them in a video next time rather than doing this waffle, because Sarah thinks it's Chopper. She was like, oh, you're not big time enough to do a Q&A. But if you want to know anything else, ask me, ask the Rocket. When we're going to have kids? Hopefully not soon. Peace out.